You're about to listen to A Gold Digger's Guide, How to Get What You Want Without Giving It Up by me, Baje Fletcher. Introduction. Life Lessons. You have the power inside to live life as you see fit. Don't allow anyone to take that God-given right from you. No amount of money, fame, or prestige is worth a life lived only to please others. You are the ultimate answer on right and wrong for yourself. About 2 years ago, I came across a tell-all book that caught my attention. It was about a woman who resorted to having sex with guys to make ends meet. This story stunned the world because all the subjects she wrote about were high-profile celebrities. Her story disturbed me, as it did everyone who read it, but it weighed on my mind for another reason. I wasn't so much stunned as I was saddened. I was sad because the life she lived wasn't as uncommon as the world thought it was. The entertainment industry moves at an accelerated speed. Beautiful women are a dime a dozen, and celebrities have money to buy whatever and whomever they want. The outcome can be devastating. The effects are intensified when judgment becomes cloudy because drugs and alcohol are added to the mix. The only thing uncommon about her story was that her subjects were all people that we knew and loved. The truth is, there are many women with similar stories, maybe on a smaller scale, but nevertheless similar. There are a lot of women, young and old, who don't know their self-worth. How could they, when statistics show that at least 50% of marriages result in divorce, and a great deal of children end up being raised in a dysfunctional or single-parent home? We have seen the effects on society from boys who were raised without fathers. But what about the girls? When there's no male present in the household, who preps her for what's to be expected from the opposite sex? And who teaches her the game from a male's point of view? Who will set the bar high by being the example of how she should be treated? In my interviews with women, I discovered that in 80% of homes where fathers were present, there was also an invisible barrier that prohibited him from talking to his daughter about sex. I'm not just talking about elementary sex education. Girls need to know the emotional damage that may lie ahead by giving themselves to someone undeserving. So it's pertinent that they be taught what types of guys to avoid. Young women need to know what behaviors are expected from players, so when presented to them, women can not only recognize them, but avoid them. Someone needs to show them how to plan ahead, so if they're ever in a compromising situation, they don't just react, but instead respond efficiently. Some would say that most parents have failed. If you disagree, then take a look at the rate of teenage pregnancies, abortions, single moms on welfare, and the overwhelming rate of STDs. Unfortunately, because of AIDS, you can lose just one round and be put out of the game for life. We as women sometimes sell ourselves short. We know that he hardly ever calls, and when he does, it's late at night, yet we accept the lies or make excuses for him while we look the other way. We sometimes put up with so much and give too much of ourselves to the wrong people because we are trying to fill a void within. Some of us are so afraid of being alone that we'd rather have anyone in our lives, even if they're pessimistic, emotionally exhausting, or abusive. Some of us have allowed our self-esteem to be beaten so low that we think we don't deserve the good things that come our way. I've heard many cases of women substituting Hallmark cards with their bodies. I spoke with numerous women who have admitted to having sex with guys, not because they love them, not because they're attracted to them, but because they felt obligated because the guy paid a bill or bought them something nice. Girl, he paid my car note this month, so now I'm gonna have to give him some. What part of the game is that? Whatever happened to a thank you card? It's time we stop going along with the flow. No more hanging on for the ride. It's time we grab a hold of the wheel and steer our own lives. We must map out the route and decide our destination. In all aspects of life, we can't just accept what we're given if we're not satisfied with it. And no more putting out just because of guilt. A lot of us don't realize our potential or the power that we possess. In a nation where women can do amazing things like vote, voice opinions, and have equal opportunities in the workforce, there is no excuse to use sex as barter. A man can earn the money that he gave to us back, but we can't get the part of us that we gave to him. We are precious, we deserve the best, and we have the power. We shouldn't be tempted to break our rules or bend our standards because we don't have to. We don't have to have sex to be sexy. Our confidence is more than enough. We have the greatest thing that men want, unless they're homosexuals. Even then, a lot of them try to imitate our feminine essence. Men work on our terms and on our time. Never forget that. Most of them will do anything for it. How many guys have lost their best friend because they lived out a scene from the movie The Best Man? You know the scene I'm talking about? when Morris Chestnut, the groom, beat up Taye Diggs, his best man, because he found out that Taye slept with his fiancée? Mythical or not, one of the greatest wars between two nations was because of a woman, Helen of Troy. And even the Bible showed us the power that Eve had over Adam. Many politicians have fell victim to call girls and even interns. Many guys have gone broke because of the booby trap, aka strip club, and countless fellas have lost their wives, careers, and their freedom. You didn't make them the way they are, but by analyzing them, you can capitalize. Physically, we aren't stronger than them, but we don't have to be, because we were born with built-in artillery. We possess the art of seduction. Sure, we can weaken them with our curves and our words, but the effects last longer when we do so with our minds. Plan ahead, do your research, and follow through. Getting their financial favors for sex is easy. Getting them without having to give up anything? Now, that's the challenge. When I first disclosed the idea of writing this book, I was alarmed at how many people asked me if it would be a tell-all book, because that simply isn't my forte. I don't want to be a successful author if it means putting everyone's business and innermost secrets out there. Betrayal and breaking up homes aren't options for me. My passion for writing this book is so that women can benefit from the shortcuts I've discovered and even my very own shortcomings.